Now then, when it comes to electric cars, charging is obviously the main selling point for people. So we're going to see how easy it is to charge a car like this. So right here, I've got some apps here that are quite useful to use for finding charging points in your local area. For the purpose of this video though, I'm just going to go ahead and use this app here called ZapMap. It's really simple. It shows a map and all the different chargers in your area, and you can search by location if you want as well, and it comes up with all the different sort of charging ports, if they're out of service, any problems reported with them. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go ahead and find one here. I believe there's one at my local Lidl. So if I type in Lidl here, there you go. There we go, Lidl Harrow. So you can see there it shows the different charging ports, and it also tells you if people have reported them to be out of service. I was here at this particular one a couple days ago testing for another video, and I know that this one is in fact working and has been fixed since this outage reported about 4 weeks ago. So let's go ahead then and put that in the sat nav. There we go, it pops up on obviously the Apple Maps there, Apple Maps and Android Auto, included as standard in all the e-208 models. This particular model obviously being the highest spec demo model that we have at Norton Way Peugeot. So let's have a quick little drive there. Right now I've got the car in normal mode. I can put it into eco mode there, and the range goes from 70 to about 74, but I do have on heated seats and the heating obviously as well, because it's very chilly on this miserable Thursday morning. So a 6-minute drive then to this charging station, and hopefully it will be empty so we can go ahead and charge this car for a little bit and see how much range we get if we say leave the car on for a 20-minute rapid charge. We are of course in morning rush hour traffic. It is school time, 8:35, so it seems everyone is out and about. 6 minutes to do just 1.2 miles. That is of course the joys of living in London. You see there of course, as I press the brake there, that green charging bit goes up as well. It sort of recoups energy back, sort of like a modern Formula 1 car, which is quite good in saving energy. So around town, where this car is made to be in this sort of driving, you can put it in eco mode and save as much battery and as much mileage as possible, really. I do love this sound that all of these new electric cars make, the sort of electric whining sound. I'm not sure where it sort of comes from, if it's from the vents or the speakers, if it's sort of fake sound, but it is quite nice. And especially if you have the car in sport mode, you sort of, if you put your foot down there, it just feels a bit more engaging rather than being, you know, being completely silent. I think it's much better. One thing I really like about this car is just the overall design here. I'm sitting in traffic here, but it's just a nice place to be in. This being the highest spec model of this particular car, you can see the materials here that they use on the dash, the build quality and all that. Everything just feels very sturdy. And this steering wheel, I must say, it really has grown on me. At first, when I first saw these smaller steering wheels on the Peugeots, I was a bit sort of intrigued by them, but having used them on different models now, I'm a really big fan of them. Especially this flat bit at the top here is more squared off rather than a traditional round wheel. If you're sort of whizzing around town, sort of gripping the steering wheel like this, it's much more easier and feels a bit more natural, I think. And your thumbs here as well to really grip the steering wheel on the motorway or on A roads perhaps. It's quite handy. Peugeot definitely know what they're doing when it comes to their interiors and even the exterior of this. I mean, this is, in my opinion, one of the best looking cars out there today, especially finished in this lovely yellow that we have on this particular demo car. It's very nice. What's quite smart actually is how they've got a mix of buttons and touchscreen functions on the top. They've made the more so important things, if you will, actual physical buttons for you to press while on the go, such as your hazards, putting on the AC quickly, your demister, unlocking and locking the car. But then stuff like if you want to put on your navigation or climate control settings, they're more touchscreen buttons which you can use while you're on the go. I think that's really handy. Rather than having it all buried into the screen, it's quite a nice mix of both physical and touchscreen functionalities. Right, we are nearly there then, just 0.2 miles is down the road. And hopefully this charger is free, because it is quite a busy Thursday morning here, so it wouldn't surprise me if the charger is in fact in use. Let's see. Ah, empty, just there behind that bus stop if you can see. Go and follow this other Peugeot. Pulling up to this other Peugeot 3008, the bigger version of this car, which looks like he might be charging his car as well. Reverse in, as of course the charging port is on the left hand backside of this car. There we go. Right then, so as we're here at the charging station, this particular charging point is in fact called Pod Point. So if I pull up Pod Point here, once it decides to load. Right then, so now that the app is finally loaded, you can see I'm here at Lidl, so I pick the Lidl charging point, pick this one here as there's only one particular one. And you can see it gives you the different sockets. Now, in this particular car, we have the CCS type charging cable available to use in this car, which you can see will be about 26 pence per kilowatt hour. Now, one thing to note is that these two fast chargers here can only be used once at a time. So this car next to me is luckily using the slow third charger there. You can see the 22 kilowatt per hour charger. But if he was in fact using number 3 here, and I came along and plugged in my car into number 2, it would in fact stop his car from charging. Not quite sure why some charging points do this. Might be a sort of safety thing and sort of fire hazards and whatnot, but that is in fact a thing, and it's something to be quite wary about. So then here at the charging point, you can see that this particular car next to me is using the slower type charger, and I want to go ahead and use this number 2 charger here. So if I go ahead and just open this up quickly, remove this cap as we're using the faster charging points rather than the smaller single charging point there, which gives us a more slower charge. Take this cable around, just do this gently, it's a bit hard to do with one hand. There you go, just plug it in. So he says, like so, the light will go, start flashing green, which tells me it's plugged in. Right, so this tells me that this is ready to use my phone to authenticate the charger. I'm at number 2 CCS, so I press confirm charge here. This is how it loads. Charge confirmed. You're now allowed to start charging this car. So charging has now started. So let's see then, it's 8:53. We'll leave this for about 10 minutes and see where the car gets us. I'm sure it tells you what the charging is on. There you go, it's on about It just started now, 2 seconds ago, 54%. So we'll come back in 10 minutes and see what this gets up. You can see that as I'm talking, it's already going up, which is pretty impressive, I must say. Right then, so as you can see, it's been about 10 minutes and we started on about 54%, and it's gone up to 68% using about 6,441 kilowatts hours delivered. So in order to stop actually charging this, you just press stop charging here, wait for it to happen. Your charge is stopping. Now it says you're allowed to stop charging, so the light turns red. Simply unplug this, put it back safely, put the cap back on, and you can be on your way. Just click it in right there. Now if I were to quickly go ahead and refresh this app, so go to my stats here, you can see today just for about 10 minutes it cost me about £1.70 to go ahead and charge this car, which is not too bad there. Last night I used about £3.38 to do some testing with it. £1.70 for about 10 minutes of charging and about 13-14% increase in percentage is not too bad. On average I think it was going up 1% every 37-38 seconds. Now let me go ahead and get in the car. 1 second, if I can find the key so I can move for this fella here. Let me quickly move out the way for this guy here. Excuse me, madam. There we go. You can see my range has gone up quite a bit already in 10 minutes there. It's gone up to 104. I'll put some stats up on the screen so you can see what the charging time is around about now. And as you can see there, it's not really that bad at all. I think 10 minutes costing a couple quid there to charge the car, a rapid charge to be on your way, then it's pretty good when it compares to sort of filling up your car with petrol. If this sort of becomes a norm, and if people get used to charging the car at home like they do charge their phone overnight at home as well, I think this can easily become the norm quite quickly, really.